Nation, it is day 30 of the Fit in 10 Challenge. Can you believe it? We are nearing the halfway point. We are close to day 35, the official halfway point. Let's get into some questions. Well, actually, this person's got a comment first. And this person says, okay, so here's what they're going to improve upon this week. They are going to improve upon logging everything. They are also going to end the mindless snacking. And they're going to add in one extra cardio session per week. Now, it looks like they're getting all cardio sessions in, so they're adding in an extra one. All right, well, kudos to you. The mindless snacking, listen, yeah, well, mindless tells me that you're not logging it. I think that's the problem, because you can snack as long as you log it and you meet all your macros, right? Okay. Question one, I worry that doing 5 classes a week means that I end up doing 3 classes in a row. I've been injury prone in the past, and I want to avoid this and keep this momentum going. All right, I'm going to stop right there, even though the question is not over. So I'm assuming you think that you're going to get injured by doing more than 2 classes in a row. You won't be injured. You shouldn't get injured from that, but you might be tired. You might be sore, but that really shouldn't increase your chances of injury. You may not perform as well, but you should not get injured from doing multiple classes in a row. So if you did 3 in a row, I mean, you could make the argument that maybe you open yourself up to injury a bit more just because, you're tired or whatnot, for sure. But, I mean, doing 3 classes in a row is not that bad, okay? You can do this, all right? Now, you don't have to do this, all right? So I'm going to continue here. You say, is it okay to do 4 classes and 2 cardio sessions instead? Yes, that's totally fine. Here's what I'm going to suggest that you do. Make sure that you do at least 2 lift camps. Okay, so if you do 4 classes, make sure 2 of those are lift camps and then 2 are boot camps. Okay, that'll make up 3 weight training sessions. Okay, so 2 from the lift camp and then 1 from the 2 boot camps. Then you're going to get 2 cardiovascular sessions there from the boot camp. And then you're going to do another 2, as you mentioned, on your own. That's totally fine. You can do that. I did design the program originally so that you would do weight training session, cardiovascular session, weight training session on day 1, cardiovascular session on day 2, weight training session on day 3. And that was just to, break up the soreness and give you a bit of, spacing between the weight training. I know you have a method to this challenge, so if that isn't okay, let me know. All right, so yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. Question 2. I assume that if I go over my daily macros, this will result in weight fat gain, or rather, lack of weight fat loss. But what if I go under my daily macros? How is this detrimental? Not that I'm going to go under, okay? I'm just curious as to what will happen if one consistently goes under macros. All right, so this is a very good question, and we're opening up a can of worms here. So I'm going to try to be as succinct about this as possible. So, basically what I'm trying to do here is give you guys as much leverage as possible for this, for you to lose fat. And so, one way to do that is to give you as much food as possible while you still lose body fat. Now, obviously, in the short term, if you do reduce your calories more, so if you did eat less, you're probably going to lose more fat. In fact, I can say with you with a lot of confidence that you will. Now, depending on how low you go, you might lose more muscle too. Okay, so we don't want to lose muscle. That's one thing. But the more important thing here is to think long term. So we don't want to make too much of an energy deficit, because when you create an energy deficit, you create an energy gap, right, between your total energy that you're burning per day. So this is like, all kinds of things like your metabolic rate just from being at rest, you're moving around doing your daily activities, your exercise, thermogenesis, the calories you're burning during exercise, and of course the thermic effect of food. So the calories that you burn from eating food. Okay, so those 4 things are going to make up your total energy expenditure. Now, obviously, the only way you're getting energy in your body is from eating. So you've got this much energy that you're burning, and then somewhere you're eating, right? So if you create the larger the gap, that's great. You're going to lose more weight, but your body is also going to want to bridge that. Okay? So it's going to want to bridge that gap. So, you know, if you're exercising the same, all right, and obviously your food intake is going to be lower, so the thermic effect of food will be lower. But let me just cut to the chase here. Basically, the thing that's going to have to change here is your metabolic rate, okay? Your basal metabolic rate. That's going to have to lower because that gap has got to close. Okay? So you don't want to create too much of a gap for too long. Okay? Too much of a large gap for too long because your body's going to adjust to that. Yes, part of that adjustment is going to be the fat loss, so your body has less energy, or it has less stored energy, so it doesn't need to, you know, metabolically run as high because you're not conserving as much energy on the body. So I understand that, but we also don't want certain processes in the body to slow down or to become more efficient, more energy efficient than what they ought to be, because that's going to slow down the fat burning process. So basically there's a happy medium here, okay? And what is that happy medium? Well, I don't know. Nobody really knows for sure. But I do start you guys off with a fair amount of calories, and of course I do take that down slowly, all right? And that is, in a short-term methodology, let's say 3 months, a great way to go, all right? And I'll talk about what to do after 3 months in terms of, because what do you do, right? Do you just keep going down, or do you just reach a certain point with the calories, keep them there? What do you do, right? So how do you manage this, all right? So listen, you can get away with eating less, no problem. But just bear in mind that your metabolism will slow down. And at some point you will plateau. And then you've got to ask yourself, what will you do? Okay? I realize I'm going ahead on this question. And I'm giving you more information here than maybe you're asking. But I kind of have to give you the whole picture as much as possible. Okay? So there's a lot more I can say about this, okay? There is a lot more. I could talk about this for like an hour. But just remember this. We want to create leverage, metabolic leverage, so we need lots of food for that, okay? Within reason, obviously. And we don't want to create too much of an energy gap, all right? We want to create this happy medium, all right? And also, we want to have enough energy to sustain the muscle mass and fuel your workouts along with your recovery. Okay, so get all your macros in. All right, okay, we are 8 minutes in. Message of the day, and this is a good one because it kind of coincides with what we just talked about, and this wasn't on purpose, by the way. Sort of. This comes from Alan Aragon. He's really good. He's very popular in the when it comes to fitness and nutrition. I think he holds like a master's in nutrition, and he's got a lot of great advice. You can follow him on Instagram at @theAlanAragon, or you can look him up online. Anyways, he has a quote, and it goes like this: "Every meal is a short-term investment in how you feel and perform, a mid-term investment in how you look, and a long-term investment in your freedom from disease." All right, I'm going to read that one more time. Every meal is a short-term investment in how you feel and perform, a mid-term investment in how you look, and a long-term investment in your freedom from disease. Okay? All right. You guys have a wonderful Sunday. It's like kind of clouding over. I'm looking up here because I have skylights above me. You guys got to submit, commit. You got to do everything that you got to do, right? Should I say it again? 3 weight training workouts, 3 cardiovascular sessions per week as outlined in the program, right? And we got to do these, we got to perform these as close to what I ask. There's one thing that I don't ask, by the way, and that is the intensity. The intensity in the workouts has to be there, okay? So you've got to push yourself. Of course, that's under the understanding of proper mechanics, good form, and control the weight, right? All right. And of course, don't forget your diet, right? Which, of course, we just talked about this whole time. Fulfill those macros, okay? Guys, we'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful Sunday. See you guys. Bye.